Hey there, everybody. I'm going to try to share this to my group before I get started. So let me do that real quick. I'm running a little late getting on. I said I would get on at 1:45, and I was having technical difficulties. Okay, so I should be good. Okay, so hey. How's everybody doing? I wanted to get on today. Sorry I'm running a little late. I was just saying I was having difficulties getting onto Facebook. I don't know what was going on, but it's working now, so it's a go. So anyways, I wanted to talk about my biggest game changer. I know for all of you probably get tired of me saying it's doing all the things. It's not just one thing. But I know a lot of people are curious about, well, what was the biggest thing that was a turning point for you in dealing with your anxiety? So for me, it was, let me just start by saying, we're talking a little bit about my story. I'd had anxiety and back in high school, and I didn't know what it was yet, but that's when it kind of started for me. I mean, it might have even started even younger than that. I remember when I was a little girl feeling like sick to my stomach at bedtime, and would have to get up and like chill with my parents for a little while, and then I would feel better and go to bed. So I think, and then I remember like at school, like even like when I was first starting school in kindergarten and things like that, it was like I did not want to go to school. I would feel sick to my stomach at school. I wouldn't feel good. I'd want to go home, and I'd go down to the nurse. I'd call my mom, and she'd come and get me, and I'd get home, and then I'd feel fine. I'd be great. I'd be like, yeah, let's have some lunch, and all was well. So I think it goes like way back, and it was always linked to my stomach and stomach problems for me. So I think that it's been as long as I can remember. And I don't know, but eventually I was diagnosed with gastroparesis, which is slow emptying of the stomach, and it causes, you can't eat very much. So there's a lot of foods that would bother you. It causes a lot of nausea and just not good stuff because your food isn't moving through the way it should, right? So that is what I feel like it seemed like it contributed to so much. My anxiety was all these stomach problems. But I think that it's interesting to see what really came first. So was it my stomach problems, or was it this anxiety that I always kind of had? So, or they played off each other. I'm not quite sure. But when I was diagnosed with gastroparesis, I mean, I was in a place where it was like, I mean, I was afraid to go anywhere. I mean, I was, having agoraphobia. I thought there's no way I can be working. I just feel so terrible. I'm so weak. I can barely eat a piece of bread without feeling like I need to get sick. And it was just, I thought, this is never going to end. What am I going to do? And so right away, my brain starts going to, I can't exercise like I'd like to because I'm too weak. I can't go anywhere because I don't know what kind of food they have. What would I eat when I go? What if I feel sick? I mean, I can't just be like standing in the middle of a room if I feel really sick, or the middle of a store, or, I can't just like, what would happen if I got sick in the middle of the store? And so my mind would go and go with all these thoughts, and that really kept me, I think, stuck in that anxiety cycle. Was all that time spent ruminating on what was going on, analyzing it, throwing all of my focus on that anxiety to try to solve it, right? Because that's the natural instinct, is if something's going on with you, you want to be better, you want to solve it. And so the problem is this just perpetuated the whole ordeal. So for me, there were a couple of things that I think were my biggest kind of game changers, and one was changing up my diet. And I don't know why I developed so many food sensitivities. I kind of, in my opinion, think that it was because I had so much anxiety for such a prolonged period of time that affected my digestion that I've developed these. Will they be here forever? I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it because I know what I can eat now and what I can't eat, and I feel okay with that. But I cannot sit there and when I catch myself thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to maybe want to plan this trip, and what will I eat? And I can't just go to any restaurant, and all of these types of things. That is spending more time in that anxiety cycle. So we really, that's, I guess, what I'm coming to was the biggest game changer for me, was figuring out that the more time I spent analyzing, the more time I was spending in that anxiety cycle. So it wasn't just the moment where I'm feeling all this anxiety, it's all this other time outside of the time where I'm feeling that heightened anxiety that I'm ruminating, analyzing, just trying to figure it all out. And that left me just spending almost all my time around this particular problem that gave me so much anxiety, and that just heightened my anxiety. So when I really found that I was able to start healing was only when I, with my coach, stopped spending so much time focusing on the way I was feeling, focusing on these physical symptoms. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I don't feel that way all the time. And even before, I realized that it's just like a relief to not be spending so much of your time on this thing that makes you anxious, and actually to be spending the time on other things of value to you, to add fullness to your life. So it wasn't until once I was able to let go of spending time here and just let the actual moments of anxiety pass, the actual moments of the stomach and digestive upset pass, that's when I was able to notice the anxious feelings passing more quickly, and I was spending less and less time in these anxious feelings, and I was spending less and less time having the stomach upset. So I think then I'm always like, I wonder how much of my stomach problems are gastroparesis and how much of it was just anxiety. I guess I'll never know, and who cares, right? What matters is that I feel good now, right? I know that's hard to do when you're having these physical sensations. For me, it was my stomach, and some people might be like, I would take that any day, an upset stomach, because for me, it's my heart. And when I have those sensations, I feel like I might be dying. I might die. And that's so scary. And like for me, if my heart races, it doesn't bother me. So I wouldn't be feeling sensitized to that. So it is different for everybody. And your game changer is going to be different. Your game changer might be totally different than mine. But this was mine, and I think it's a commonality among a lot of people that have anxiety, because you feel like the anxiety is just like stealing everything that's important to you, like stealing so much of your life, because you're spending so much time either feeling it or analyzing it, right? So, but if we can just give ourselves a break from thinking about it, we have time to bounce back a lot quicker, right? So again, yours might be different, and I'm really curious, and I'd love to hear for anybody who has started to have times where they're not spending so much time in their anxiety, what were some of your game changers? What worked for you? So I'm really curious to hear. If you guys have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.